Good evening, everyone. What I wanted to do tonight was kind of give an update on where GME stands and some of the trades that we took today. Kind of just like an overall view of what I see and where I see this thing going. So if you paid attention to the last video, we went back all the way to 2021 and kind of referenced this run up and some of these channels that we've been seeing as of late, and then the overall channel that we are currently monitoring from a day-to-day basis. If you guys will notice, this is on the weekly time frame, and so I'm going to start off on the weekly time frame and then kind of dive down into the trades that took place today and then what we will be looking for going until tomorrow. So if we were to really itemize this and kind of look at this from this overall perspective, you can see how critical this was today for us to get back above that $25 level. You can see through the majority of today, we actually had a pretty solid dip down, and that's where our plays came in order to try to have some scalps to take full advantage of this opportunity being presented in front of us. So this is just on the daily chart, kind of just highlighting the overall day, but we will continue to drill this down. But where I wanted to start was, if you want to look at this current trend that we are looking at and monitoring, you will see that this channel that was originally here and we saw during this run up, we have seen it break down underneath here, but at the end of the day we're actually in the sub channel now, and we confirmed, and this is how we knew exactly what trades to take and how to maintain that profitability from a scalping and from a swing trade perspective. So just leaving these two channels that we're in here, what we're going to do is go kind of drill down into that 30-minute time frame. So if you really wanted to see the difference between the 5-minute and the 30-minute, you can see kind of what we highlighted before. And if you reference the last video, we actually captured here what it looked like in the previous run-ups when we saw a barcode or no decision zone similar to what we saw today. So if I was to come in and highlight this and go ahead and throw a rectangle on here, the barcoding really began at around 9 o'clock this morning, and we did not see the movement that we wanted to for the majority of the day until we saw this breakout candle around 12:25, and that's what kind of gave us that sharp close or the upward direction that we needed. So when looking at this, there is 2 points where we wanted to enter this trade. I'm going to go ahead and highlight this with the arrow markers here and then here. Okay, so some of the trades that we're going to take, we both trade shares and options. Some of the shares, I will not be as concerned about an entry as I will for those options due to the volatility associated with GME. You really have to make sure that you are getting that proper entry. So this morning on the open, I was paying attention to this channel here, and you could see where we came down, touched this bottom, and then had a pretty good bounce. Once we came to here, I could actually see where this trend was actually going to break down right around 740. But I did want to add some shares at these levels here on the open. We had an idea that this was going to come here. So if you guys are familiar, this is a bearish flag. So when we saw this continuation downward here, at first I thought that we would gain support right around this 24.42 mark. But you can actually see where we went bear flag to bear flag, and never good to be stuck in a trade like that. But on shares on something like this, I've seen many different bearish indicators, and then by the end of the day we are back into that bullish trend. So if you come here, you can see where from this point on, that's where we kind of entered this barcoding. This arrow here identifies right around the window of time that we were actually entering these calls. So if you're familiar with the trades that I've taken over the last few weeks. One of the ones that ran up over 100% was the $30 call options that led into Thursday's run up. So what I'm looking for here was I was looking at a closer to the money strike price. So that's why I decided to take the $28 call options. So I'll go ahead and add this here. $28 call options that are going to expire on 6/21. So what this play is that because we had our levels mapped out properly, there is one thing I overlooked, and that was the gap fill from this original pump up in after hours. And so looking back on it, really the perfect entry would have been after we confirm this downtrend, we could see that this was going for this gap fill. Now that we have filled that gap, we're seeing some of that upward momentum from this point. So at this point in time, these $28 call options on GME were around $4.20 to $4.50. We bought an initial contract right around $4.50, but then added on later and then got our average to right around $4.20 per contract, which is about even to where this trade was during this downward momentum. I'm a firm believer in buying in on these call options during a downtime. That's the best time for you to have those opportunities because volatility is actually against you. And then on this side, if you can find where these bottoms will take place, then you'll have the volatility on your side coming out of them. So during the day, I alerted a few different times in the Discord that this window of time frame was a no decision zone. We were seeing this zone kind of tighten a little bit of an extension up and then come back down and retest the bottom. And then finally, right around this time frame is when we saw these 4 straight candles come out of that barcode zone and then push us higher. So the way I'm looking at this now, similar to times in the past, is I am monitoring this trend coming out of the barcoding zone where we're seeing that chop back and forth. And what I would like to see coming out of this is actually that upward momentum that we've been highlighting, where we may come down here, touch this support level, come up here, kind of hit a chop zone. But I'm looking for a slow climb up, kind of similar to what we were seeing last week when we took the $30 call options. So when we're highlighting through this, we want to make sure that we're paying attention to the overall channels. So when I highlight this, and then you can see where those sub channels are that I'm constantly monitoring throughout the day, what I want to be able to highlight is the importance around of regaining that $25 level. So I currently only have regular trading hours on, but during that extended hours, you can actually see where we reclaim that $25 level, and then we actually gain some accumulation in that zone. There was a lot of strange things going on with different brokers where we were actually seeing these trades and people buying shares for $33 to $36. A lot of people, tinfoil cap, are thinking that people are buying this ask price, but what this actually shows to me is there is some kind of gathering of those shares to get us an official count into the close. There should not ever be candles that are $10 higher than the currently trading price, and I'm not sure where that's coming in, but it definitely isn't voting well for people that are short this trade. So as we're going through here, kind of just take a look at the multiple zones here. What I'm looking for tomorrow is to maintain this $25 level and then allow us to push upward from there. We will see at the top of this chart, you could actually see where there would be a reversal here just based off the chop that we saw here. It would be likely for this to come back to the bottom of that channel before continuing upward. If we extend this out, the path forward is trying to find a way to get back above this weekly chart upper channel. If we do not get above that upper channel, then we will continue to kind of trade sideways or possibly push back down. My thought process here is take each level at a time and then just monitor those levels as we step up through this trade. So There's a couple key levels that I'll be looking out for, and most of them are pretty close to those round numbers of 26, 28, and then obviously getting above that $25 level. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. As always, if you like this video, please subscribe and then smash the like button. Thank you.